User accounts. I think aside from passwords, insecure passwords, the number one or the number two vulnerability that Macintosh users induce on themselves is they log into their machine consistently as an administrator level account. So let's back up on that just a little bit. Apple has a number of types of user accounts on the computer. The very first user account that is created at the time that you take the machine out of the box, plug it in, and power it on, it asks to create the very first user account, and that is an administrative account. It has administrator level control. What an administrator account means is it can create new users, it can delete users, and it can read and write to the operating system and applications. A non-administrative account, sometimes called a normal user or a standard user, cannot create new users, cannot delete users. It can only read from the operating system, can only read from applications, but it does have read and write permissions to its own home folder. The problem comes in two forms. If you log in as an administrative account and you're not really quite aware of what you're doing, you could cause damage to the operating system or applications by writing to the OS or writing to the applications folder and not even realizing it. Give you an example, some applications only work when they're inside of the applications folder. And a lot of users are annoyed by having to go into the hard drive, into the applications folder to double click their application. So they'll move the application to the desktop, and now it doesn't work. I have very literally had two clients over the span of my career who, when they looked inside of the system folder, didn't see anything that was of use, so they threw the system folder into the trash. There's nothing in there I use. I'm just trying to clean up some disk space. I was running low on disk space, and then wonder why the computer didn't work. So the other problem is the vast majority, not all, but the vast overwhelming majority of malware that comes into a Macintosh takes on the power of the currently logged in user. If you're logged in as an administrator, the malware can read and write to the operating system. That's really bad news. If you are logged in as a non-administrative account, as a standard or normal user, the virus, the malware, the Trojan, what have you, can only take over with your power, which means it can mangle your documents, but it can't go into the operating system and cause problems. And yes, there are exceptions. It has been discovered how to work around that, but overwhelming majority still can't get in there and cause any damage. At Apple, the programmers that are writing OS X are not allowed to log in as an administrative account.